Deep in the heart of Yoshi's Island, you'll find this modernized, lavish estate complete with 32 bedrooms, 11 bathrooms, an award-winning indoor floral garden, and a large custom-made lava bed fit for a prince. This extraordinary feat of architecture is home to none other than heir to the Koopa throne and all-around playboy, Iggy Koopa. So let's dive in and check out the digs on this fresh episode of SMTV Cribs.
Hey y'all, W. Carrick here with the third installment of the 258 guide. This video is a beginner's tutorial in a series that's dedicated to helping runners achieve a sub 11 and 11 exit. Iggy's Castle is usually a place where runners looking to get a sub 11 can pick up some time. So I'm going to show you the strat that I personally use to get through Iggy's Castle. I'm going to be doing all of this on emulator because most newer runners are going to use emulator anyways. I'm also going to be using this USB controller made by Buffalo. You can usually pick it up pretty cheap on Amazon, eBay, and a few other retailers. And if you want to skip straight to the strat breakdown, I'm going to put a timestamp in the description down below so you can just click on that, alright? But first, we're going to talk about controller grip, and a little bit about how changing the way you hold a controller could make some levels easier. Stop. No. I know, I get it. This is gonna suck. And no, you're probably not gonna like it at first. But this whole change in controller grip, it's only for one room. It's only for the first room. And you're gonna have plenty of time before the level starts to switch to it, and all the time in the world after room 1 to switch back to whatever you prefer. So just hear me out, give it a shot, and you should see improvements in your movement through room 1, alright? So, now let's talk about how you hold a controller. So let's say you do a normal controller grip like this. Your right thumb is covering Y and B so that you can run and jump easily. And if you need to switch to a spin jump, you'll usually slide your entire thumb over to cover X and A, so you can spin jump while also still holding the run button. And by the way, this is the reason some runners prefer the Japanese controllers over the American-styled controllers. Those convex buttons allow for easier sliding back and forth. But what if you need to switch from one type of jump to another quickly without letting go of the run button? Can you be sure that you'll always be holding down either X or Y even during jump transitions? This issue pops up in room 1 during the middle cage section. To do this section quickly, we're going to be switching from a spin jump regrab to a normal regrab as quickly as you can. There's also no reason to let go of the run button for the entirety of room 1. So this specific room can benefit from a controller grip change that allows easy transitions between the two different jumps while also holding down run for the entire duration. So, we're going to be switching our grip to this for room 1. It looks weird because it is weird. I'm not an artist. Fuck you. But trust me, I do even weirder grips in a different portion of the run, so you'll be able to pull this one off just fine. Some people prefer to hold Y, I personally prefer to hold X, but it doesn't matter. This leaves your thumb free to curl in and only worry about jumping. This grip also means that you're going to be going at full speed for the whole room, so be prepared for the fact that you won't be letting go of the run button until you hit that first door. I changed to this grip in the overworld as Mario moves into Iggy's castle, and you can switch back to your normal grip right after room 1. So give this grip a try and see if it helps make a difference, specifically in that middle cage section. Now that we've discussed your controller grip, let's get to the actual strat breakdown for Iggy's castle. This breakdown assumes that you're using the claw grip as described earlier in this video, and that you're entering the castle as Small Mario. Now, the first thing you might notice right off the bat is that I'm going to show you these strats without the in-game timer that's usually in the top right corner. The reason for this is simple. This strat is more important than the time you get using it. What do I mean by that? Well, these strats you might be unfamiliar with, and combined with a controller grip that you might be unfamiliar with, means you've got a lot of work to do here. So, I'll let you guys know straight up, the usual top time you're going for after defeating Iggy is a 241. Maybe a 242 if you're one of those guys, but let's be real here, 241 is really good. But you might be getting a 240, a 239, hell, even a 238 for some time before you get comfortable with this strat. Especially because most of your time save is going to be coming from the first room, where the claw grip is recommended. But this is a strat that you'll be using for most, if not all, of your speedruns, so learning this strat is more important than the fact that you might not be the best at it at first. I consider this strat one of the most important strats for any SMW runner to learn, due to it being used in almost every category there is. Here's a list of all the categories currently on speedrun.com and whether or not the top time did a full Iggy's castle or used an orb to bypass portions of the castle. And as you can see, almost all the top categories will push you to learn this strat, as well as a majority of extra categories. So just don't worry about the timer for now, only worry about learning this movement that I'm about to show you without dying first, and then, tighten it all up for your time save. And one last reminder about this, using the claw grip, you're not going to be letting go for the entirety of room 1, so I'm not going to mention that from here on out, alright? Now we're ready to get started. As soon as you start running right in the first room, you're going to come across this climbing Koopa in a pool of lava. And this little guy right here is the main reason you need to enter the castle as Small Mario. Because if you do a small little jump right on the ledge of this lava pit, that should keep you from taking any sort of damage from the climbing Koopa that's above you. Now keep running right and jump over the P-switch to reach the second most difficult section of this room. This section here is the reason for the claw grab, so pay attention closely. We're going to be switching from a spin jump regrab to back-to-back regular jump regrabs in a crazy short amount of time. And by regrab, I mean we're going to be pressing jump to get some air, release it to kill our height, and then press and hold it once more to maximize the horizontal distance we can get from the jump. Regrabs are very useful in tight vertical spaces where you need to rely on jumps to move horizontally throughout the level. As you approach the end of the ledge here, do a small spin jump and re-grab that jump button to get further down the cage. If you hold out the initial jump for too long, you run the risk of hitting this climbing Koopa that's right above you and dying. If you don't re-grab the jump button, you'll grab the cage way further back than you would normally want to. You'll need to play around with it to find where your sweet spot is that allows you to get past this Koopa quickly, but I can tell you now that you have way more wiggle room than you probably think. As we come down towards the cage, get ready to switch over to normal jump for the remaining regrabs we need to do. And to grab the cage, I'll see most beginners grab using up on the D-pad because it's kind of intuitive, but you can grab cages using down on the D-pad. I decide which direction to press depending on the direction Mario is approaching the cage. So with Mario moving down and to the right, I'll press down and right on the D-pad to grab the cage in this particular level. Try to grab the cage as low as you can. Now once Mario grabs that cage, release down and keep moving right along the cage while keeping your eye on this Potaboo right here. Now the moment he starts moving downwards, keep holding right and do a normal jump regrab. That should send you sailing just above that Podoboo while still getting the distance you need. Mario's now falling down and right towards the cages, so we're going to do the same thing as before. Quickly press down while holding right on the D-pad to grab the cage and keep on moving. Now as soon as you grab that cage, send Mario off with one last normal jump regrab to reach the ledge on the other side. And a quick jump over that gap, and right here is where we're just going to send it. Do a normal jump and hold it out the whole way. You can hold right on the D-pad for the duration of this jump, or if you want to get fancy with it, you can release the D-pad entirely during the jump and hope that Mario locks on to the fastest of his 3 oscillating speed values. What? You didn't know that Mario's speed oscillates between different groups of values depending on certain factors? And that his speed can lock onto one of those values when the D-pad is released? Don't worry, we're going to get into all of that in a later video. Hopefully much later video. So if I'm being honest, I recommend that you release the D-pad during this jump, but it's not a big deal at all if you don't. So you're not going to make it to the other side of this gap with just that one jump, so you need to be prepared to grab the cage right by the ledge to get you there. And once Mario reaches the bottom, once again we're going to press down and right on the D-pad to grab the cage and transition Mario back onto solid ground. Keep on running right and make sure to actually grab the midway gate here because you're going to need it to get a flower in room 2. Right after the midway gate, prepare yourself for the most difficult part in Iggy's castle. Press up to get into the door. And yes, if you miss this door, I will make fun of you. Moving on. Just grab the fucking flower. Now, this fight has 2 options that you can do to get a quick kill on Iggy, and I'll be showing you both of the strats here. One of these kills is just a hair faster than the other, but honestly, once you practice either of these strats after a bit, you'll be able to do quick Iggy kills in your sleep. The first one that I call the jump kill is very simple. As Mario falls into Iggy's room, let loose 2 fireballs and jump on him as soon as you hit the ground, and then just spam fireballs as you approach him from the right side. It should get rid of him pretty quickly, and it's insanely easy. The second option that you have to kill Iggy is what I call the butt slide. It saves a little bit more time, but there is some danger involved. As Mario falls into Iggy's room, hold down on the D-pad and let loose only 1 fireball this time. And right when Mario lands on the platform, he'll be sliding on his butt down to the left as you spam fireballs into Iggy's face. Right before Mario falls off that platform into the lava below, spin jump while holding right so that Iggy goes right underneath Mario and into the lava. Sometimes you'll land on Iggy with the spin jump to get the final hit, sometimes a fireball originating from the spin jump will be a fire hit. All that really matters is that you get your man. This one can be a little sketch though, because Mario could just fall into the lava himself, but with some decent practice it becomes kinda rare. And that's about it for this episode of the 258 Guide. Thanks for watching, and be sure to tune in next time where we'll talk about Star World 2, 3, and 4 all in one mega episode. If there's a level you'd like to see in the hot seat next, make sure to let me know down in the comments below. Also, be sure to check out my Twitch page where I stream speedruns of Super Mario World on most nights. Now, go get a PB.